through through Zoom here, and sometimes Zoom doesn't, you know, doesn't decides it's not going to record, so I back it up. Uh, so this is it. This is what we're going to do. We'll go through this painting here first. We're going to go through this winter scene. No animals in this one, but on Saturdays I usually going to lean towards animals a little bit heavier than I do on Mondays. Just trying to get people out of bed. Figure people want to paint animals a little bit more than tons of landscapes. We're going to be painting all kinds of landscapes too, but we'll just throw an animal in it mostly and try to work around that. But this winter scene, we'll put some birds in or something like that. But winter birds, maybe a flock of geese going overhead, or just late geese.
Yeah.
But this shot I got from I just took it off of our reference for artists and site, photo reference for artists, and it's just one of those shots I really looked at and I loved, and I could see how I was going to break it down and how I could make a nice class out of it. So let's get going on that. Let me pull it up, and we'll start cutting it apart. Away. Okay, there it is. Beautiful. It's a really great little winter scene, color wise. For us right now up here, it's starting to feel like this. We're starting to get a little bit of snow, not quite like this, but we got a 3-4 inches, but nothing enough to make a difference. I trimmed into this painting a little bit, the photo, reworked it, cropped it to where I wanted it to be. What I want to do is get the focus of the painting more around in here than down here, because down here there's really nothing there. There's just color and things. So I really want to, get the eye to come back up here at the top. It makes a nice line here. We got some great lines. If you just follow them, they just feed you right up there. So, having more stuff at the bottom really didn't help much. So that's all I trimmed into. Another little great crop on this painting would have been, right about here. Doing a one like that would have been really pretty. This line here runs a little bit in the middle, but if you could work with that, maybe trim it down here. I just never told you guys to, grab a long, skinny painting of, canvas. So I decided not to go that route for you. Throw a wrench in everything right away. This is enough. Okay. So a little bit of design there. Pretty much you can see how it's going to run. Really zigzaggy. Good, strong. Look at how sharp those zigzags are. That is the key to this painting, is how sharp we're going to make these guys. This is very, like I would say, this is a very edgy kind of painting. Because of this. I mean, this shot right here is your money shot right here. This little bit square, right? That triangle going in, that sharp triangle going in, balanced against this triangle. That beautiful Z going in there. That's where you keep those spots sharp. We're gonna focus down in that way, and that's that area. This area down here, pretty much not a whole lot going on, just color combinations going on, some softness, things like that. But back here, you can start to see where the light's hitting it, and you can start to see how these sharp edges are really popping out. That's where we want to get to. Yeah, up here, which is really where the house is and everything up there. Yeah, there is a little slope there. Yeah, but that is going to be where the people are naturally going to go anyway. But I want to, you want to get them there. And I want to make sure they get a little bit of the eye gets a little bit of a journey to get there. Color wise, it was really dark, so I really lightened it up a little bit, you know, because we're losing all the color back in here and all the color on the sides here. I didn't even really know that this was a real farmhouse or something back there. I don't look very close at these things to really define them. You know, I don't really try to, you know, blow it up and see what's all everything what things are exactly. I kind of like to play with it, you know, in my head. I think this is what it is, and sometimes that's better than knowing exactly what it is. Except for when I'm painting my own things, when I'm working with somebody else's stuff, I kind of like to make my own judgments. But this flat area here is a lake, a little bit or a pond, you know, and this is a creek coming off of it. Uh, so this back in here, this flat area back in here is really nothing. It's really clean, really light color. Um, so just let you know that. You probably already looked at it and knew that. We do have a nice reflection. Whoops, where did you guys go? We do have a nice reflection going here, coming down. And you notice one of the things when you lay this out, notice, Jesus, quick. Notice where it's things are lining up. It's lining up on the 1/3 line of this painting when you lay things out. And if you go, I work in the rule of thirds. So this would be a third. This would be a third. This is, you know, over here and here. That's where I'm going to put my focus. I'm going to at least in those areas. I'm going to put more interest in those areas. Um, that's usually it. You try not to put too much right directly in the middle. And so we're going to stay away from that. Middle, meaning the painting would be right in here, which there's nothing there anyway. So we're good. Everything flows. It's a really 2/3 painting anyway. This is just this right here is above 2/3, so it's really in the quarter, which is really great, and everything is happening way above it. So that's really interesting. But we do have all these really sharp angles, like again, like I say, sharp angles coming in, digging in, going in here, and a lot of those angles will show up right past when we get done painting midtones. They'll start to show up. Some won't show up till we hit the highlight colors back in here, but these guys over here should show up. And that's the thing to think about. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be close sometimes. you you got to hit the ones that count. And when you get back into this area here, that's what counts. That's a nice little area. That really says snow. There's some really good brush strokes in there. To think about, you know, shadows, thinking about what's causing that shadow. Is it the shadow of the shape itself, or is it a cast shadow? You know, there's a couple strokes lights going across here, you know, coming through over here and over here. You go, those are probably might be cast shadows. That tells you there's a huge big trees going over here, that some lights coming through. So think about that. So you're not getting like pure light going down in these areas here. It's not bright. That's another thing. There is no such thing as white snow. There's always a color to it. There, we do not use white, pure white in our paintings. We're always going to use a color. We're going to find color. That's the important thing. White will kill your paintings. We gotta, you know, work away from that. But that being said, that's pretty much how I lay out my palette. It is with a little bit of white on most of my things. So, you know, but pure white will kill your palette. Will kill everything. So we try to stay away. I do put this value chart over here, gray chart over here. That really helps when I'm looking at values, trying to figure out where things are going to be. You know, a lot of 7s because of the blue snow, 7s and 8s. You get some really dark 8s and 9s down in these areas here. Don't have to really go to 10 very much, but mostly things are in these dark areas. But I do not usually go to 0, which would be pure white. I usually stay down below. I would say even on this one, right here, 1, 2, in that area right here in between would be probably about as bright as I'd want to go on all the highlights, and then work my way down. Because we really, white doesn't help at all that much in the painting. Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question? So on that point, there are a couple of spaces just to the right of the tree in the upper quadrant that look quite white.
Right in here and here. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Even that's not white in your mind?
No.
Okay.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. They'll stand out like a sore thumb.
Okay.
Just what the thing I would do, more paint. You can get a 2 to be a 1 just by the amount of paint you put on.
Thicker paint. Okay.
Thicker paint will do it. Thinner paint and thicker paint.
Thank you.
Yeah. It could be, it will be probably really close to this value, just a lot heavier amount. And it also has to do with the colors around it, that you are going to get contrast, it's just like a sky hole in a tree. You got these contrasted colors around it, you put that same value, it's going to look brighter. There's a few little ideas I've learned years and years ago back in college there of contrasts and values. And that's what this one's all about, values and cool values and warm, some nice warm light against some bright, dark contrast and light contrast. So should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. It's going to be, so I'm going to sit here and gabber the whole time so you guys don't have any time to paint. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Let's get busy.
Some of us have started.
I figured, see, there you go.
Good going, Lynette.
Yeah, Lynette just jumps right towards it, gets it going. Okay, so that's what we're going to be painting. Everything's design-wise. So here's the palette. It is a little dirty, but that's okay.
One other little quick question. Is this a painting I could get my Prussian blue out on? It looks
if you want us to do Prussian blue, you could do that. You could do Prussian blue. Be different.
Yeah, that bottom left. Okay.
Yeah, you can paint the whole thing with Prussian blue, probably. But I didn't have it down on my list, so I can't do it.
Okay.
If I had it on my list, I might look at it. That's why I was saying phthalo green. You could throw phthalo green in there if you wanted.
And I have a problem with that, Jim, because I don't see phthalo green. Unless you're mixing it with the blue a lot, but I see mostly blue and purple in my printout.
You're right. You don't see it. You don't. And that's okay. I was just, when I was saying that on our site there, I was just kidding around.
Okay.
It was something it sounded better than saying blue. Anyway, you're right. There's not a ton of phthalo green, but you'll be surprised right in these little areas here at the bottom that you're going to have some phthalo green in it. Now, when we get mixing,
kind of turquoisey, right?
Yeah, you're going to find some turquoise. Basically, it says turquoise, and that's going to make the blues a little bit. You got warm blues, you got cool blues,
right?
So we're going to have cool purples, warm purples. Here's the palette set up. I have out titanium white, and I do have a big gob of it. There's a lot of white mixes in here. I do have cad yellow out. I do have a few other oranges and stuff out, but these were from the painting you guys just saw. There is some lemon yellow here I have out, but that was for the other painting. Cad red light, I would say. So we got cad yellow light, we got cad red light, and I got some cad orange back here. These yellow oranges are basically cad yellow mediums. or deeps. I do have some ochre out. Today I have some gold ochre out. Just because of the dog before, it's not like a regular ochre, it has a little red in it. I do have alizarin crimson, or if you are a Rembrandt person, this would be rose madder deep. This is cobalt blue hue. Let me grab that for you. This is a new thing. This is my blue I use. It's a cobalt blue hue, that HUE at the end. It is not cobalt. It is a scientifically mixed cobalt. That's what it is. That's why the hue is there. It is supposed to look like cobalt when you add white to it, which is great. I mean, cobalt's a fabulous color, but it's very expensive. And it's, it has some, bad things in it, cobalt does. So we don't really use it. I mean, they don't have real cobalt in any of that stuff anymore anyway. But this cobalt blue hue is one of the darkest blues I have compared to Prussian blue. So, but Prussian blue is very warm. It's a warm blue. This is a cool blue still. This is phthalo green blue shade. This is phthalo green on the blue shade. It is a nice dark color. So I only have a few really dark colors. These 3 colors here on my palette, except for if I have burnt umber out, which I don't anymore.
Burnt umber anymore.
I just ripped it out. I just scraped out what I had there because it was so old. It was gumpy. So I don't have burnt umber out, but I do have transparent oxide out. This is a did I say this one? This is transparent. This is oxide red light. Or I skipped over this. This is, first one out of the chute, and I'm really messing up. Anyway, this is oxide red light right here. This is transparent oxide red up here. 2 different reds. I keep them separate for you guys because I like to tell you, make sure you guys don't use the same one. You can tell the transparent is more like a burnt umber right here. But it has a lot of qualities of the red. I have a lot of reds on my palette. I got cad red light. I got oxide red light. I have alizarin, and I have transparent oxide. So I have quite a few reds compared to everything else because there's a lot of reds out there, and these guys need to be mixed in with a lot of stuff. I even have a couple more reds up here, which I don't really show that often. I don't show you guys because they don't have to be in. They're not really in here. But that's a red medium up here, and cad red medium, and this is carmine. Carmine's an interesting color. I might bring it out for flowers or something like that because it can make a unique pink that's different than alizarin. So, but I try to stay with, this is my basically go-to colors. So let's get going. Oh, my kit. I'm sorry. See the big brushes, big ideas. I have some synthetics I love to use that are big and have powers. Then I go down to mediums. I go really big and I like to go really small. Bristle brush. These guys are great. These guys will do a lot of this work we're going to need on the trees and things. Bristle brushes do that because they are stiffer and just a different material. The synthetics are more carving. These are the ones you're going to be using to cut edges, sharp edges. That's these guys. I do a lot of basic work with this one brush, though. I tried to get 3/4 of the brush work done before I have to switch off. That's how I roll. I like to get going. Okay. Also, I have a couple paint erasers. This one here, just really good. It's just a regular dollar spatula from the dollar store. I trim up with scissors. It's a rubber. It's really pliable. It's nice. It's really great. This will take off paint when I put it in the wrong spot. Sometimes it just like putting in a light in a dark area, you gotta sometimes get that light out of there. This will take it down to canvas if you're working wet in the wet. And I have a few different edges I've cut into it. So I have points, different points. And then I also have my signature kind of brush. I usually sign my brush with my names with this thing just by moving the paint. It's a great thing. It makes little teeny dots just by disturbing the paint. So it's always kind of fun. Palette knife, I just use a spade bit. All right. I do paint with my oil. It's nothing more than safflower wood. But I do get it at the paint store. I do not get it at the grocery store. It is a specialized pure synth. Oh, shoot. It's a pure safflower. I'm sorry, I just got paint all over my hands. Usually my hands, I try to keep them as clean as possible. So I do not have, my hands do not get paint on them. They only get paint on them when I'm doing this. And when I'm at the end, wiping them off. I mean, doing finger. Yeah. I'm talking too much about that stuff. Okay, yeah. You guys should be done mixing now, and we'll get painting. Okay, I do know, all I do is tell really bad jokes and say bad things. So get over, I'm sorry about that. We're gonna mix all the paints now. And this is the process. This is how I do it. I did the Elevate painting. This is exactly how I do it. I do not really deviate from this, the way I mix, the way I do things, because that's how you get your paintings to level up and get better and better and better, because you got something to judge them against. Instead of being all over the place, you can never judge how good your paintings are getting, because you don't know what you did from one painting to the next. So here we go. We're going to look at the dark. My color is going to go like this. I'm going to make 3 lines and end up being 3 lines of colors. First line is going to be nothing but my dark, dark, dark colors. No white added in. So these first ones, we're going to make no white. Then we're going to take those piles, we're going to split them. We're going to add a little bit of white to those second tier piles. And we're probably going to go to a mid-tone in here. We're going to find a mid-tone here, and that's probably going to be, I think, around a 7. So we're going to add enough white to make it a 7. Then we're going to take those guys again, beef them up again with a lot more white. Probably get them up to probably around 3s, 2, 3s, 4s areas where they need to be. And that should take care of 3/4 of the painting. There are going to be some specialty colors, some blues, and some maybe greens that we're going to need to make. But pretty much that's about it. Some browns that are going to come out of here, but pretty much everything is going to come out of here. That being said, let's get busy. Darkest darks are right here around this edge of this creek kind of breaking down, melting away. Gonna find a few purples in here. So we're gonna start off with some of our darkest colors. We're gonna go with blue and alizarin. And I'm gonna make these piles big enough that I can use them. When I make one, put 2 colors together, I make two variations of it. I make one on each side of the colors, 2 colors being mixed. So this is alizarin. So I would be doing alizarin and blue together. So one's going to be on the alizarin side. So when I pull it down, pull the colors down, you will see that it is on a red side of purple. And this other one, I'm just going to put a little bit of alizarin in, because there's a lot of Brigler blue here. Not quite as much alizarin in this side. And then when I pull this down, you can really see that that's blue. So it just has just a hint of alizarin in it. So those 2 colors are going to do yeoman's work in this painting, of course. But we do need a few other colors. I'm going to do the same thing same alizarin and green this time, phthalo green and alizarin. So first pile, going to put definitely going to have more alizarin in it. Second pile is going to have just a slightly bit of more green to it. Well, I could be flipping those guys around the way it looks. See, I can see the purple in this one. So I just want to make sure they're different. This one's slightly more green, which is good. So this is good. I'm just going to leave it that way. So this one has a little more alizarin. You'll be able to tell in the second pile. But as you can tell how dark those colors are, only I right now sitting on front of it can tell that there's a difference, because they're so dark. But I do need some other darks. I do need to get back farther. I need to get some other warm darks. Right now, these are all kind of cools. So I'm going to go back to blue. And we're going to keep going this about the same way. And I'm going to do oxide light with blue. This will make a smoky blue. This is on the red side, which is way too red. And this will be on the blue side. I'm going to make that one just a little too much red. There's really not that much red in here showing through at this point. But this will, some of this warmth, when you mix it with these, the other darks and stuff, they'll help bring things forward.
Would that be my Terra Rosa hue?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Terra Rosa. Yeah, Terra Rosa, good place. Change from oxide red light. Okay. So you can see they're slightly warmer. I'm going to do one more color. Probably don't need this much, but I just have to do these colors like this. I'm going to do phthalo green and oxide red. So get to know these colors right now, I'm telling you about, because they're pretty much it. That's your painting right here, pretty much, except for one last color. Well, that would be putting the blue, all right, and phthalo together. Definitely don't need that much. Going to keep it on the blue side, so it's just going to be a little bit of phthalo. Phthalo is really strong. So I'm even putting it, going to start with the phthalo side first. Because it'll come out easily. And then take some of that and bring it over here on the blue side. So I keep one on the blue side, one on the green side. Slightly, just a slight blend of green into that, but not much. And just like this up here, I have a little bit of alizarin in it. All right. Those are pretty much what we're going to go to battle with for this painting. These should do the job. There's basically all we got to do is lighten them. And that's what I was going to talk about, is keeping your knife clean and splitting your piles. I'm going a little more in depth with this first, the first one of these of winter here, their first winter painting. We do have a few new people, and getting to understand my color palette and how I use it and break it down. So I'm still going very fast, it looks like, but I'm pretty slow, in fact. When I do this, when I paint by myself and I do this, I'm pretty much, I can get it done in like 15, 20 minutes. So with you guys, I'm going to be at least 40 minutes making colors.
What are the last two there?
Phthalo green and blue, mostly blue,
Oh,
a bit of phthalo green. Gonna need that for some of those lights to bring some extra zim into it. So now I'm gonna add these split colors. I'm gonna add white to them, just enough white to make them to a value of 7. So I'm gonna put enough white into each one of these guys. Might not take too much. And I can keep them separate from the home pile, because I can always go back and darken it up. But if I squint, you squint at this until the color goes away. This is right now closer to an 8, 9. So just enough more white to bring it up to about a 7. Blues are always a little funky because they are on the darker side of the scales. That'll do it. So I can judge all the other colors from here. Yep, that's just way too much white. This is my purple. Well, I said way too much, but then it turned out I kept going. I'm just going to make it just slightly a little bit. It's a little bit on the light side, I think. Those are blue and alizarin. This is phthalo green and alizarin. This one's almost a perfect mix of phthalo green and alizarin together, because you see it's gray. And you can see it's way down here at 9. So just a little bit of more white, but not too much more. Just a touch more. There we go. I'm not going any further than that. The next one is on the alizarin side of phthalo green. And this is what I was talking about, how strong. Oh, no. That's the alizarin side. You're right. This is the alizarin side. This is the phthalo green side. I was going to go, this is how it shows you how strong phthalo green is. This is supposed to be alizarin, and the phthalo green showed up. Doesn't show up there, but it might show. It's going to show up there. The alizarin. See, this is going to be nice. At one of these values, it's going to come through. Now, this color is cat oxide red light with blue. You see, that's going to be all over in this painting. I'm going to just add a little bit more darkness to it. I think that is the blue side. This is the red side. So there might be some adjustments I have to make here. But you can see the difference there. See, that's going to end up being a lot of things. It can definitely be this tree back in here. It can go over that tree. You're going to see it probably in a few warm areas in this painting. Okay, the next one is the same thing, but phthalo green. Definitely go pretty quick through this one. I don't think this color is going to be anywhere but back in here, maybe. This is the red side of the phthalo green and oxide red light. Nice gray. You can see that in some trees, maybe the house. You're going to find different sticks, maybe in some light back in here, in the frosted ice. And then the last few colors here, we're probably going to end up making a few variations of this one for sure. You can see the blue, just a little too strong, but it starts to show up at the back end.
I don't have that one.
That is blue and phthalo green. This is mostly phthalo green and blue, but it's not mostly, it's really blue, but It's going to be in here, just a few spots. If you go over your photos with just the color, you can start to see them. Your eye will start to match them up where they go. You can start to see areas in here where it can go. You know, you don't see it. You can see it. If you go like this, you can start to see it in this area here that where it's starting to come out. That but it's a lot lighter. So grayed out, a little bit lighter. So right now they're at full strength. This one I thought for sure was going to get in here a little bit more. See, this is where I was telling you about just putting in a little bit of blue in there. Okay. Those are pretty much it. That'll take care of 3/4 of the painting. Basically, the last parts of this painting, making the lights. These colors here, these guys are definitely going to get into the sky and areas too. So I'm going to take each one of these colors, just pieces of them, and bring them down here and just plant them down here and make my light colors. This is about the last areas we need of the painting. We have our darks. We have our mid-tones now that all definitely can work together. Look how they go together. We can throw those guys in pretty much anywhere and they'll be fine. But what we don't have are high key whites in the painting. I'm gonna take it up to about a 2. Value 2. So these guys so I took it from the secondary line here and took pieces of them. I didn't even take that much because mostly you're going to double it up with white. So this is a blue and alizarin with white coming in at these higher areas. You can start to see where it can hit. It's going to be in the back area right here. You can see it. So I'm definitely going to keep these guys 2. Is that a 2? Yeah, that's pretty close to a 2. That was a gob of white. That was like double the amount. And this is probably not quite, doesn't have to be quite that high. Sometimes a pink. As I go over here, you can start to see it works over here. It might be up there and it would be back in there. But right in here, you can start to go like this over the photo, and you can see that this purple is not there. It is a warmer purple. This is phthalo green and alizarin. And it is a grayed out. You can see it all over this bottom area. So that is a good color too. So this is alizarin. It's on the red side. I'm going to add make a little bit bigger pile for it. Also, I think it's a little bit too gray for what I want. So I'm going to just take a little more alizarin, add to it just to push it on just where I can barely see a little bit of red into it. There you go. Maybe just a touch more. The same up there. I think I'm going to do the same here. I'm just going to take a secondary piece of this because I really think it should be on the red side a little bit more. Oh, much white. There you go. A little more red. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. Because what happens when I add this alizarin against this phthalo green, this color starts to become a blue instead of adding red to it, and all of a sudden this color becomes a blue purple. And that is, I guarantee, is all over this painting. Phthalo green and On the green side, we can go over here. You can start to see it right into here. Right into here, you can start to see this color. It's not quite as green though, so it's a little grayed out. That means it's probably closer to these two colors coming together. So I'm gonna gray it out just a little bit more with some alizarin. And that's gonna hit just too dark, but not by much. That's gonna be a yeoman's color for back in there. And I can always lighten these colors, just make adjustments afterwards. But this is what I'm going to block in the color painting with. This is oxide, red and blue. And you can see when I start to get in here, you can start to see how these colors can get in here all over the place. You can start to see how they get in here. I'll need a few warmer colors, for these yellow whites, few yellow whites, which will make because basically there's nothing here but cool paint. And these guys are just getting a little bit too bright, so I'm gonna make sure I get the steel a little bit and gray them out a little bit more. That one's just a little bit too light. You can just see a lot of purples, a lot of greens, a lot of blues coming out of here. Not enough, not anything warm out of this area yet. So that's why we're going to have to mix up our warm colors. This is our blue coming up here, another blue and phthalo green. As you can see, this is mostly where I want to see a ton of this. This needs to be on the blue side. I'm gonna add just a little bit more blue. Even that phthalo green, as much as little phthalo I added to it, took over. And now you can start to see it just a touch more. Yeah, that's getting really close. You can just see it in there, but I would still say it could go. Doesn't need to be that light yet. This color up here, that's basically what I should have been doing, is light darkening and getting the blue to come out of this color instead of the light color I'm just done. Just a touch too much phthalo showing through, which doesn't need to be quite that much. But getting these lights right now is where we're going to be. Okay, there we go. I'm going to leave these guys like this, and then we're just going to do some. I got enough greens, I think, in here that are going to work for the painting. But what I don't have in here is this warmth of light down here. There's nothing really warm down in here. So we are going to do a couple lights. So I'm going to put out just white first. And what I'm going to add in is just a touch of cad yellow into one of these guys. This one has, so it's just a little bit, too much. I'm going to steal these piles together. It has just a little bit of warmth to it, a little bit too much, but it fits with these guys. I'm going to steal a little bit more white. See, what happened is I got a touch of blue in here too, so it does have a touch of blue. It's not like pure yellow white. I do need one on the red side, so I'm going to go with a cad red light with white. You can see I can start putting in there, and you can start to see it back in here. In these areas here, this is pretty high key. And when I do get back in here, I can put that painting on. If I put it on with a knife, that's where you're going to get your gobs of paint. Putting them in with a knife instead of a brush. And that will also kick the color up. That's what we talked about. A couple other little teeny colors I'm definitely going to need in this painting. One would be like a higher key blue white. So I'm just going to steal it from over here. And a pink. I have warm pink. This is the alizarin. And I do have the cad over here. You really kind of need both because this one's going to do a different job back there. This one's going to come up front. Even though it's darker and I just added I hear too much white to it. Or too much to it. Now you can see the pink too much. It was better before I started talking.
What's the last one,
This
Jim?
is the alizarin and white. Alizarin and white, I might do one more warm because it just feels a little bit ochre or orange. Let me see what orange does. Oh, way too much. Yep. Just, I gotta get it all the way off here. This is orange, cat orange and white. Yeah, that can definitely add to the against those blues. This was basically the same color, just but ochreish, kind of a red white, you know, a warm grayed out white. And that might be able to get in there. All right, so I'll go over tell you these colors again. And if you have any questions, you know, please ask them. These first two colors are blue and alizarin together, mixed with white down to about a 7. Then we took them down here to about a 3. These two are phthalo green and alizarin. We took them here to about 7. This one I added just a little more alizarin to and more white to. Then I brought them down, and this is where I added more alizarin to it. And this is on the phthalo side. You can see how it grays out. Beautiful. This is blue and oxide red light coming down, makes a beautiful little gray, smoky gray purples. Coming down farther into 3s. Phthalo green and oxide red. You see how grayed out it gets, a little warm, and bring it down.
Question? Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
When you say blue, are you pulling your cobalt blue?
Yeah, that's just the one. That's all I just call it is cobalt blue.
Okay. Okay.
Too many words.
Right. So if you're going to use ultramarine blue, you'll say ultramarine blue?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would only be swapping them out. I would not be. You know, so you'd know that up front that the blue I'm be using would be ultramarine and stuff. I usually never use ultramarine. So.
Okay. Oh, okay. Great. Thank you.
Okay. But if you're going to be using ultramarine in this painting instead of that blue, keep it consistent all the way through, and for all your blues, use that.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries. So phthalo green and oxide red, and we're up to whites. Here we just have blue and a little bit of phthalo green. And down here we found out the green was really showing through at that bottom edge. So I really pushed the blue. This is really, these two are really closer to where they should be. This was almost a touch too rich, but we'll see. So I always say that, so I can always adjust. But then we got these nice light colors, and then we made these last ones basically our frosting colors. These are going to come in at the end. So we paint from dark to light, and these guys are gonna come in at the end and they're gonna put in all the frosting. You're gonna find these guys, these worms and stuff, you're gonna find them right in here. This area right in here is gonna draw these reddish pinks and purples are gonna draw in your eyes here. A little more yellowish down in here. Not quite that, not really, really strong, but you know, what we want to do is keep the light up in here. So we got some, so we have, this is oxide. This is, no, not oxide. This is ochre and white. This is cad orange and white. This is just cad yellow and white. Cad yellow and white, but it has just a touch of blue in it from mixing up some of the other things. So it's just a little bit off. Not too bad. Okay. This is cad red with white. This is this blue light with white. And then this is just a pink. This is just a cool pink. That's a warm pink. This is warmer. This is darker, but then this is the warmest. So this yellow should come to hit us in the face first, then your pinks, and then your greens, and then your purples, and then your blues. So that's how we're going to think about color so we can get depth. All right. So that's it. I'm going to tone my canvas. I'm going to tone it with some oxide red light. I did not use transparent oxide today. I didn't, you know, it might be in there, but we don't need it right now. We can get this thing painted without it pretty easily. So. Let's see. All right, I'm coming back. I got to get my camera set up. There it is. All right. Everything roll it, and we'll be ready in a second. You can tone your canvas if you want. I'm going to turn this. All right, so you saw my palette. Now I'm switching over. Sorry, I got to mute you guys. Somebody's mic's right there by their scraping. That happens. So I'll try to give you guys as big as area I can on this painting. But I still got to get my feet in here. So, and I don't want to show, you know, you guys don't need to see my back too much. All right. So here we go. Like I said, I was going to tone this with a just oil and oxide red. And that's just oil, a little bit of oil mixed with oxide red. Definitely when you start off low, because that's where the darkest areas are, and then thin it out to the sides. You can see my brush was not totally cleaned out from my painting yesterday. I usually don't clean my brushes, never clean them. I just wipe them out. I mean, I wipe them out with oil, baby oil, usually at the end of a painting. I never do too much to them, really. Sorry, I'm just thinning this out. When it gets thin enough to where It's not going to cause too much trouble. I just really want to just get rid of the white. And I'll just rub it in. You can use any color you want. This is just what I use. This is, in fact, not red. It's kind of a green now. I tell you, that's the phthalo. Phthalo will get into everything. It'll get everywhere. But that's me. I just like to have nice toned out. Okay. I'm just going to draw it in. This is kind of a simple thinking about these shapes and where everything goes. Really, like I said, keeping it up in that 1/4 area line of the painting. So everything up there, you know, you got your trees here, building just off center a little bit so it doesn't hit, you know, too much right anywhere. You know, it goes up here, and then have the trees come in like that. So that little square there is the roof. Of course, it's going in the wrong direction. Okay, now it's going in the right direction. This swooping down into this line here. Trees covering up a little bit of that area there. Just coming down, starts to break that. Got to break. Also, you know, you have that strong line. You do got to break it, or it's just going to take you all the way off too. So you got to look for little things just that will break that line if it's too strong. There's this beautiful little dip in that line too. I love that dip. You know, right in here, right by the house. And it goes a little bit back over here. Just goes almost perfectly straight, and then it just slight little dip. Beautiful little graceful dip. Okay. Then you got your little part of your pond. You got things jetting into it, little areas. That one sharp point. Okay, now this is what I was talking about. Kind of this getting this point very sharp. This comes across here, and then it almost goes right to the edge, almost to the edge, and then comes back down. It's just a sharp little jagged little piece of ice, kind of icicle almost on its side here. It's such a comes down, but it's a you know, really a triangle that shoots across. But then you got nice things that will cross over. You got the big tree. I'm not drawing that in because there's no need to. I don't want to paint around it. But that line there, and then you got another one just slightly underneath it coming through, creating this line, this zigzag. You don't even have to be exact angles and things, but just knowing that this and these things feel like they line up. There's also another one just here on this side of the area, right in here. It almost runs parallel with this line. And it just makes that little bit of area here that kind of feeds into this melting lake or whatever. I might push this over a little bit, just a hair farther, because it starts to fall in the exact middle. So I'll slide that over a little bit, just a hair. But that makes everything else I can do here jump in. Okay. The last little things is getting that feeding into this area how it feeds in. And this is, again, like I was talking about, sharp points that these things are going to be, you know, all these little edges on the into the water, you know, are going to be just really just like that. It's going to be really sharp edges of the brush. I don't like that one. In between. Okay. One of the things also, even when I'm laying out these things, I'm laying out to that 1/3, 2/3 thing, even when I'm putting out, you know, where I'm going to put something that cuts through a line, you know, a width here, you know, you got this width of shore right there, making sure that when I put, there's another jagged edge to the water there, and coming down to the water, that I'm putting it at the 2/3 mark and not in the middle. Hardly anything I'll put in the middle. I don't really try to, even this whole line here, I'll push this guy back just a hair farther, making sure that I don't get it's always more better to put everything at a 2/3 or 1/3 spot than putting anything in the halfway. So I always, even at this little area, will be looking at doing that way. It just really simplifies the painting, makes it better. So you don't have too many things that are gonna be end up being the same. Because if you do that, everything will start to end up being the same in the painting. This little thing, definitely. Okay, so that's where the snow goes. I'm not going to be going very much farther than this. There is a little log right here that helps make this line right here. That really strong line that's fallen over there. This edge here, actually, did lose this edge here. Okay, so it's from here. Okay. Dark right there. Right there. Okay. No more playing. Everything else. So this area here gets a lot of blues into it. This area here. So the basic shapes. This basically dark shape. It looks a little too even. There's no fat point, thin point to it. So I might take this over a little bit farther and fatten this area out just a little bit more. And these two are just too much points are running together. So I'm going to push this one up a little bit higher. Maybe bring this one down a little bit lower. Little teeny things to look at, making sure that, I'm not getting too many, there's it looks more unique, more organic than, I don't, it doesn't feel like a body's in there, this could be a body shape or something like that. Yeah, so now, I'm going to move this thing also off a little bit more off center. Don't like maybe that does not a better. Yeah, better this way. Okay. Keeping it that way. Okay. I'll break. It just looks weird to me. maybe it's this, maybe this here too thick. There you go. Okay. That's brushing. A lot of things I don't have to be right with any at this point. Don't have to be perfect yet. Okay. We're going to start off with our darks, the purples. Basically, we got blue and alizarin. I'm going to go with the alizarin side first, though, because it's a little bit darker than the blue side. This is one of my darkest colors, so it's going to be, going to get into this area first. So I'm going to paint my colors just almost the exact same way as I laid them out.
So you're going left to right with the darks.
There I go.
Okay.
So alizarin and blue first. This is where I can layer it in a little stronger. Over paint. Don't, just put it in exactly where you think it's going to go. Give it a little bit more area to grow where you can nibble at it. This is oils. We're going to have some fun.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So just a little bit more oil in my brush. Get this paint to spread.
Yeah, that's some spread.
Yeah. So it goes pretty much all the way up to here. But I'm going to like to just keep it going a little bit. This is just one of the things, starting off with your darks. The reason you got to start off with your darks, at least for me, is to get the structure of everything is, where everything goes. So when you're painting, you're painting, you understand where everything is quicker, and you don't have to think about it too much. Okay, so that's the blue purple. I'm going to put a little. I say that, and then I'm going to go back in here and just put a little bit of blue purple back in these trees, where these trees go.
Yeah.
This is a lot thin. It's very thin. There's hardly any. I'm just basically running my brush out of this purple. It's just a little thin, using the canvas itself to lighten up color.
Yeah.
I'm going to mute you. Okay. This is the blue side of the color. Definitely think about the shadows now. I'm going to put the shadows in on these guys a little bit stronger on the trees. You can put it in almost everywhere you put the trees in, but where I'm putting it in just a little bit more forcefully in color would be in this area right in here, right by the house, coming down. And coming into the house shape, which is just a brush mark, nothing more. I'm not asking for any architectural anything on that. I just, just a line, and that's it. Peaks. I love just doing peaks of trees with just the turning of the brush. Getting them in, that's all you have to do. Get the edge, use the edge of the brush for your tree. And then Again, peeks back here of the building. Then there's a few trees in here, back in here. They're just a little bit heavier. Like these guys over here. These guys probably could get a little heavier in the blue. I wouldn't mind that. I'm blue, purple, anyway, you know. Now that I have oil in there and stuff, it's going to be really hard to, you know, get at the full strength, you know, color in their full strength. So it's always going to be a little lighter than it seems. There we go, that, and then side of the painting over here, we got a couple trees. Really, I might lay it in a little heavier in this way. So I got purple more down below, heavier purple, and blue back here. That will layer this blue purple with anything with a little more alizarin in it. Will come forward in the painting. So this area here will come forward because of the darkness when you put some contrast around it compared to everything up here. Doesn't mean I'm not going to have any blue back down here, but just the heaviness, the darker darks in this area have a little more red in them right now. And that just kind of pushes that painting just the right way. Okay. So basic structure is starting to come through. I'm going to go now to my other colors, switch over to alizarin and phthalo green. See how these guys go in here. This is the alizarin phthalo green side against this purple, this other purple. You can see it's just slightly different purple. The other ones, alizarin and blues, I always call it as more of a sweeter color. It's really great for snow, everything else, but it's sweeter because it's on the cool, way on the cool side. This phthalo green, which on the blue shade, it gets in here too, but it's not quite the same. It's just slightly grayed out color, more color than on the blue. And it will do just a little bit different. So I'm just going to put it in quickly because it needs to be put in a little quicker than what I'm dabbing at, because I'm way too, this area here doesn't get a ton of work. I'm just going to see it's on the green side already. I've gone to the green side of this color. I'm using just a little bit of the oil that's left over, residue that's left over from the beginning of the painting, and just using the thinned out paint I have here to get this green to show through a little bit here and a little bit on the shadow side. I would say also this area there, clean my brush out a little bit, just a little bit too strong. Let me get some pieces of color out of there. Just gonna tone it in this area here a little bit. This is again phthalo green and alizarin on the green side. Okay. Now I'm going to go back. I got to get a little bit more. I can do a little bit more work with the blue and alizarin. This is on the blue side. It's almost pure pure blue. It's hardly any alizarin in this color. But I just right here it transitions into the middle of this water area with to a little bit lighter area. And it's really has a strong blue into it. And I want to get this in without any white.
What color are you using now, Jim?
I went back to the very phthalo or blue and alizarin on the blue side.
Without
And-
white in it?
Yeah, without white. Definitely you don't want white in it. You want to have transparencies. The first thing right now the colors we're using are very transparent. And we want to get those guys in our painting. In these areas here because they're going to give it a lot of life when we get to the end.
What are you using right now, Jim?
I am using blue and alizarin. This is on the blue side. And I just, got to get it in these areas here, into these dark areas in the water. Might as well get it in now. I was going to kind of, as you can see, sometimes the color is almost perfect. Right in here ready, coming down. It's just with the canvas color. And that's what you want. You want to have a variety of paint thicknesses from things like barely skimming over the canvas color to anything with white. White's going to build it up. White's going to take away your transparencies and be like real heavy color. So you won't be able to get any of this kind of streaky effect in that paint with white and without a lot of work. And that's not what I do. You don't want it to look like you ever worked hard on your painting. You want to look fresh. You want to look nice and easy. This is even where I'm putting the blue right here. You can start to see that blue come right into these areas here. How it can start. It doesn't have to be perfect at this point. And this thing here, just find out exactly where I want to take it. How far I want to break this thing off. Maybe more of an angle that way so it shoots back instead of flat down. You can take it back up, might make a better line. Okay. There we go. I might even tone this very tip of the bib painting with this color too. It's very thin, just blue. And just slightly alizarin, as you can see. That would just help when I put in the sky. So you can see wherever I put in these areas, pretty much where there's going to be some blue going in, and just having a few different variations of color going in here will be fun. I mean, we'll make it more interesting than if I just laid flat color in here. Put it in with the exact perfect color. That's fine. That works. But I like to get there, a little bit different. I want to make sure I get there, but I don't want to have to get there too soon. Okay. There we go. We got almost blocked in. You can start to feel it, and it'll come across really quickly. Now I'm going to go to my, this is oxide and blue. It has just a little bit of more warmth to it. And definitely even these very dark colors, these dark edges in here, just a touch of red to show through that warm red against these cool darks right here on the edge. I'll be coming back to this at the end, to finally do the final shaping of these areas in here. I'll be hitting it, and it will probably be with this blue and oxide red, because that warm, even in these areas here, this is just, really kind of makes the painting. You got to have warms, you got to have cools, and getting them in the right spots. A little bit too many marks. All right. Even when I go back in here, I might switch to some of these darks right in here, right in this area here. You can see how dark those are. Those would be, this reflection of right in here, even in the water here, making sure you get reflections line up. There's little things to look for, really end up making your painting. I'm just working now that warm oxide red and blue together. This is on the blue side though. The red side, I don't know. I'll say how much it goes in here. It might be just little teeny areas. It might be more in the grayed out area of the color than it is this strength. But I'm always going to be testing my colors and seeing where else they can go. Sometimes it's more grayed out color. Get into here. This just has a little more warmth right in here. Might go on the red side. Right in here. Yeah. Because the light's coming through, it's just a little bit of warmth right in the middle of this area right here. Feels like green. There's going to be a little bit of green from the pines showing through. So this up here, just a touch warmer. So I've gone to the oxide red side of the blue and oxide red. So it's a real dead kind of purple. Doesn't have a lot of color in it, so that's why you can just sit back in here, in this area here, without, as a dark, and not jump forward, where you can see anything with a lot of color in it, even with the alizarin and the blue. It jumps forward a little bit when it's toned down a little bit. Against the white canvas, it's coming at us a little bit faster than this guy. These guys sit back a little deeper. This might be perfect for like the bottom edge of things. Like, since it doesn't do anything, it just kind of just sits there. You can see in its place when it's put in the right spots. It just kind of just sits there nicely. So you might go on where the edges meet the snow. This edge right here, and put it in. I might put in just a little bit of redder on the red side, right there where it just curves down, just in that little area there. Another thing this color does is when you do put it in a mass of purple or blue and stuff. Blue is supposed to go back as far as you can, right? But if you put a warm, like this warm red in there, just a little bit more red into it. I'm going to put just a touch more red into it for you. That red will take you, if you put it in the middle of a spot like this, that's going to take you, make it those creases. That's going to take you all the way back, take you back farther into blues. And these are just those little things that just make your painting. You understanding when you got to put it, how much red you got to put in it, and where you got to put it in, what it's going to do. I'll shut up now, because I'm sure you guys probably said, just shut up and paint. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm done with the oxide red and area. I'm just going to take this up a little bit. Don't want to do too much. I'm going to darken in base of that tree. That definitely. That tree's going to come up here, you know. Definitely want to just get the insides of this tree. You can see the colors almost right already behind it. Just a round tree against the massive of greens. I didn't make that green. I probably should have. But I do have a lot of warms here yet. Okay, here's phthalo green and oxide together. Oxide red. This is on the green side. Let's see what it does. This is doesn't jump out, but this is where we probably end up going, is a little bit on the outsides of these trees. Doesn't really go back here too much because it's too warm, too dark and too warm. So I'm not going to put anything there. There's a little spot here, but I can take care of that later. No, that's about it. I'm not going to go any farther. I'm not going to push it. All right, I'm going to clean my brush a little bit, get that stuff out of there. You know, grab it, just pull it out. Now I'm going to get my darks. This is blue. Getting into my blues really quickly here. This is oxide. This is a cobalt blue hue with phthalo green. Mostly on the blue side. Start to work that into this area here. Again, no white, just pure color. Going to use the canvas for most of my lights. I will be coming back in with the real colors. But I just want to keep the transparencies going, work these guys together. And it's going to be a lot of cross hatching of paint, of shapes, of brush strokes here, going through here. I just want to get that in here, get it. So these kind of gradate nicely together, you know. Here I might even think about, you know, pulling off where that area goes a little bit. Anything like that. This is what I was talking about. You take them out because a lot of times you'll be using a lot of paint to get over that area. And you know, you don't need to. You can just, sometimes it just makes, you know, it doesn't really make mud, but the chances are you just I don't want any mud actions here. But you can start to see the design really starts to show through. This is, again, I'm still using the blue. And I think this is just to help get those last areas in. This is snow here. And then a couple spots here. Coming down. Okay. And that goes to blue here. See, I do like to get to the, this area as fast as possible, usually trying to get to the block in point where it's blocked in, This color can go a little bluer. I don't have to go that color. All right. Same here. I think I just over. All right. So I really, we're going to work that light now. Now we're going to end up getting to the lighter color. So that's pretty much all my dark colors. Oh, here's the more phthalo green side of this color. Doesn't go, see, it just doesn't do much here. So, but it would go around this edge here. And then we'll bring the light back in that area of the thing. Okay. So that's my first line of colors. Basically, the painting's laid out. I might start now by layering in. I might start putting in some of the blues because that's pretty much the painting. A lot of blues. I'm going to work right in here though. Instead of going all the way back to my line of colors back, I'm going to go down. I'm just going to go with my warmer, the blue and the phthalo green together. I'm going to drop down to those guys. This is blue and phthalo green, but it's on the blue side. Pretty much, it's going to be hit pretty much almost all these areas here pretty closely. I can basically twist it into these areas. Just bring it all down, leaving just a little bit of room for highlight colors. And what I'm doing is just going to starting a brush stroke at this edge, twisting my brush down, coming down and hitting it. That's all you need to do. And then we'll go in and define those last areas later. We don't have to do it now. A few spots, I can start off with like full paint. At the beginning, look for those areas that are going to count. Need heavy paint. Like there's usually right against the light, you're going to need a good amount of dark or heavy paint in the middle of the shape of a color shape like this. When we get back into this area, there's a little triangle. That's all that is it's a triangle from here to here to here. And so on this side of the triangle down here and against the white, I need good solid amount of paint, and maybe back in here. But I'd like to put the paint first down in the front, so when it mixes with some of the colors I have there, when I come, then I'll come back in here and press a little harder. When I get back in here, it'll be not the same exact same color. It's going to be a little darker. So, because it's mixed with some colors. These colors, and then we'll make adjustments, just like here. So I'm just working that blue. This is blue and the alizarin, or blue, not alizarin. Sorry. Blue and phthalo green. And I'm working that in this just bottom third of the painting, bottom 2/3 of the painting. And putting it in it strong. And when I go past this area here, I'll be going, that's the alizarin area. The alizarin area is going to be heavy alizarin and blue back in this area. All the way back. That's where that blue purple come in. And that's going to give you space. This is a little bit strong, but it's going to get a few more colors into it. But I'm just doing the mass of where this area goes. I'm trying to leave a few spots for the highlights that come in. As you can see, I left this spot here. This probably should have went up a little bit higher. This one went up high, so no big deal. Just touching the areas where that fallen down tree is. Yeah, this area is going to be definitely going to be a little bit cooler, but definitely down in here it's right. So I'm going to hit this spot strongly. Let it just kind of just push it in. Just let it mix a little bit with the water and bring it back in and just do it. Does all the work for me. Graze it all out just about the right where it should be. And I'll just work my way down. As I go over here, I got a little bit darker purple. And when I get back over here, it's going to be pretty much mid-tones. Move this thing back again. Especially when you start to get to little areas where it's like this. You don't want too bright a color in those areas. I don't want to put it in too strong. That's why I put in that green in here at the bottom. I mean, the phthalo green and the alizarin into this area here. I scumbled it in there a little bit to warm it up, this area up. There's a little bit of a bush right here, broken up bush. So that's what that is. So right now I'm almost running out of this color. I mix up almost exactly the right amount. Now tells me, okay, you are done. This color's pretty much did what I needed it to do. Still have a little bit of paint left, which is good. All right, I'm going to come back now. I'm going to go cut over a little bit next to it, go to more of the phthalo green and blue side. This might look a little bit too strong, but it's going to be mixing in with some of these blues and stuff. And I was just thinking about it right in here. Right in here, just this little swoop of color. And that just flattens that area out. That light. That's about it. I'm not gonna really down in here. It's more of a mix. And it's just a little bit too bright for that area. Um, keep going. A lot of blue purples. So instead of, I'm not gonna sit and try and fight with my colors right now and figure out what they are. I'm just gonna jump down to blue and alizarin on the other end with white. And this is the blue side. You can see comes in. You can see a few spots in here. Comes in really strong into that area. But I was seeing it kind of, just a touch more blue to it. You know, back in here. Just a touch too bright. Let me see. Maybe I'll go to the purple side. This is more the alizarin and blue side. Cut with just a little bit of purple. Yeah. This is what I was thinking it was going to be. Also, the roof color, just on the alizarin side, just a little bit of more on the purple side, just for the roof. Maybe a little spots back in here. That coolness of the alizarin really looks great there. This is where I put that blue in. I go, that's too far forward. So even just a little bit of alizarin in that color grays it out. It still stays on the blue side, but it can gray it out a little bit. It's going to come really nice into these trees. And when we get here, this will be this great little color to end up making that some of these lines in the trees here. I'm going to put this in a little bit back in here too. All right. Coming forward with that color, it's always surprising that this color here can be so dominant. One of the things I did not mention, this is a little bit too dark, is also the reason for blue shadows. All the blue shadows were here. We got a sunny day, always blue shadows in a sunny day, especially you can see them in winter because the blue really pops through these things, this area. And cloudy skies, we're going to have a little bit, it's going to be always going to be a little more redder, warmer tones in the shadows. Won't be as prominent as this, but that's what you get. All right, I'm going to go through and do, this is purple. This is the alizarin and blue. This is on the blue red alizarin side. And in these big mass blue areas stuff, you're going to find just little spots. And I'm looking for that I can see this color. And the thing is, I don't want it to get too dotty, but there's right over here into this area right in here, I saw it showing up. It's going to get warmer as I come closer, so I'll be switching over real uh, as I get over here, I'm going to be switching over to more of the phthalo green and alizarin, especially in this area down in here. It was close, but it's more green. A touch more green in it right in here. And that's where the thing is. That's why I make two colors of each one, because when I put one down and I can see that the color should be on the other side, I have that. Right? It's an easy fix. These colors are made to go together. And they usually are a transition of each other into bigger areas. So this is just on the green side of the alizarin and phthalo green. Just a little more paint, a little oil, get that spot in there. Okay, I will look into here. You can see what it does. It's going to give me just a little bit of more shadow areas. So that tells I'll be looking in the shadow areas for this color. And usually it might even be a transition to the warm light. But it's only going to happen in this front area. It's too much color for back in here. So it's only going to happen in this area. That phthalo green and the alizarin. Here it is again. This might be what I'm thinking about is this ice color here. It's close. Just a little bit too heavy of the paint. So it's a little thinner. And creating ice by just thicks and thins of paint. I can only do it right here, this little area there. I can't do it. It starts to get it here. Over here is different color, so that's why I'm not doing it. Over in here, this is going to take care of itself. I don't need to do anything. All right. Let's see. I've still got a few colors here. I got the blue and oxide red. And some greens, some warmer colors. I'm going to go to a bristle brush and put in that. All right. Well, try. No, that's an I have it right here. Okay. Regular bristle brush. I'll put in some of these greens. I'm going to jump over to phthalo green and oxide red with white. I'm going to add just a touch more green to the color. I think it's just I need a little bit stronger. But I'm going to put in this area up here with it just a little bit faded away color and putting it over these purples. And as you can see, I'm just really using the bristles of the brush, a very, very light stroke. I'm just looking to move the paint a little bit to get this color in there and not to have it take over. Not trying for clumps of paint. I'm looking for a scratch of color into these things as you go. All right. I'm going to have to do paint in the sky right now real quick. I'm going to go to back here to alizarin and our blue and a phthalo green. I use down in here. The blue side, I'm gonna start off with the blue side and just get it going in here. Thing is, I just don't want to touch the darks yet. So I'm just coming up 3/4 of the way. Got that angle, that nice angle colors. And then I'll just pull it down a little bit.
What color are you using, Jim?
That was blue. That was blue and phthalo green with white. I went pretty much all the way, half the way down with that color on the blue side.
Are you
Then
still using a bristle?
No, I had to go back to, I'm sorry, a synthetic now. Because I need a couple clean edges.
Okay, thanks.
No worries. So yeah, she caught me. Good call, good call. I went to a synthetic because of basically this one area right here where I'd come down to the house, the top roof of the house. I just want to have a nice clean line there. Everything else, I just want to get up close. I switched off now to a more green side as I get lower towards the horizon of these trees. And this is where I just want to get, before I put the final color on the trees, I need to get this color pulled down here a little bit. Because I want to put them in with a bristle brush, and this is what I didn't want to have do is come back in and repaint too much. Just a little bit more on the blue side there. There we go. Then I can just bring it down a little bit into these areas here, just drag it down. Slowly twist so you get some nice organic feel to it. Few spots here is going to put a nice clean area right in here where I'm going to put that other tree coming in. This, I just want to keep a good clean spot for this guy. For a little bit of alizarin and white and blue into where the cloud's going to be. But then I'm going to drop down to, now I'm going to go down to my lightest colors. And this should start to build the painting. I see that cloud back there. It has green in it. I think it's going to be closer to blue phthalo green and alizarin on the green side with white. Probably not quite as bright as my 2s and 3s. I think it's more of a 4. So I just mixed, basically added in things. I think that's really close. I just got to clean up my mix because I mixed it with a brush instead of a thing. Just a little brighter. So, okay, here's the brightness. Yeah. I'm going to brighten up the top of that shape and just leave it. And then bring this down. And when I do it, I'm going to put it in and I'm going to draw it down, wipe my brush, and keep repeating here so I don't pollute all my paint. But this was an interesting little thing. Just looking, and sometimes you get painting and the colors will start to read a little bit different than you thought they were. Because, you know, sky is usually clouds more in the cooler blues and purples. But to be in the green side, that just means there's some yellow showing through. But it's not much. Okay, so I just want to lay these in close to where I got to finish off the tree. And it's just a nice, there we go. That's it. That's what tells me right here. That color there is going to be probably closer to this. See, if that's that's just too much white. Maybe it has to be more. There you go. It's on the oxide side. So maybe that's where I got to put up here too. It's a touch more oxide. Well, I'm sorry, I'm seeing oxide. Phthalo green and oxide red. That's a funny color. It's a great color. And but it's like, you know, the difference between alizarin and oxide is just basically oxide is a little bit warmer, but it's still considered kind of a cool red, but it's slightly warmer than the alizarin. And so that's what I was putting in here, going, when I put it down in here, I go, no, that reads as a cool. That might come forward. That's going to come forward. And that's what I want. I can bring it forward right here in the front of this, these colors. Now I can lay this color in nicely in there. I'm thinking though, what I would do, probably put the red side of that color front, would be the touch more oxide into that white, so it reads as a red, white red. So I'm talking to myself a lot, but that's the thing, it's just getting this a red before a green. I mean, that's just it's just a little bit of simple thing right here visually. That red will come forward to the eyes faster and the green will push back. That's
Sorry, so can you start over and
No.
tell us?
No.
Yeah, we don't know what you're doing, Jim.
Now you finished. Now you've worked it out. Tell us actually what was the layering. It looked like yellow and then blue.
It does look like that, but it's just red and green.
Okay.
It's yeah, it looks like a blue, but it's really phthalo green. It really becomes like a sea green. It's phthalo green and oxide red, way with the tons of white. Yeah, I know it looks really weird. But what are you going to layer the red? The red comes to your eyes before the green. So that's why I'm layering it in. And I'm just going to layer it in right now. Red first at the first part of this color, right, pretty much right where the line of this blue shadow of that color's jutting out here, that area jutting out. Right up to there, going to be white, warm white and the red, more red on it. And then behind it, it's going to be the green white. And that's going to, the red's going to hit your eyes first. So it's going to flatten the area out.
Got it.
Yeah, that's a long ways about it, but yeah. So just got to get enough red into it to make it work. And I can start to put this together. So that means back in here though, I got a lot of, the problem is I put that blue in first. I mean, I put in the phthalo green and alizarin first, thinking that's what was going to go in here. So that's causing a little bit of change. That's why it looks probably just a little bit bluer than it should. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, working these colors out takes a little bit of effort. And I'm just trying to see, okay, now I'm going back. This is blue. And yeah, this is blue and oxide red and white. You get this, and I know this area here, you guys are probably never gonna be able to see what the colors are, how it's working out yet. So sorry about that. Just doesn't, really read that well. I'm just trying to figure it out right now. I can tell you what I'm doing. That color worked out really well. It was a phthalo green, or no, wait, sorry, blue. It was blue and oxide red and white. So I had the green down in here, green and white, green and oxide red down in this portion right there. And then after, right at the back edge of the pond where it starts to go into up into the house, all this white, that turned into the blue side of those colors with oxide. So this is green down in here. This is blue up here. This is blue mix and oxide and white. Tons of white though. Tons of white. When I was thinking, I don't know. And before I even got to all that area, I was talking about, because I was doing the clouds, and sometimes these clouds just kind of take you off, start to tell you what to look for in things, where these colors going to be, because basically this snow is reflecting the sky and some things, and so that's where I was thought, this is where he was thinking, this is what's happening here. Some of these greens up here are just going to be into this area, and that's what I said. Yes, that's what I was trying to do right there. Okay. That is what I was trying to do. But I just didn't get this little area there. That's a little purple. Okay, this bit, I was going to go back. This is a mid-tone. And I'm going to do this tree here. Do the trees a little bit. Push them out. This is phthalo green and oxide red, and going over a purple, just a little bit color, a little bit more into here. I'm probably going to have to bring it over here. Over here, it's going to start, you're going to see the purple side of it into here. It starts to get into these trees. And I'll hit the highlights real quick. Some of these greens aren't going to come out with the colors we have. We might have to add just a more, just a touch of more phthalo and just a touch of cad yellow to the color, or maybe just to get these one areas here. And that's about it for that. Here might come back a little bit stronger. So I'm adding just a little phthalo green to my oxide red and green. Just a little touch more phthalo green, and then just a hair of cad yellow. Just a hair. And I'm going to use that just for this pine tree over here. And then just a little bit on this pine tree here. I could start to feed it in, dapple it into this area here. I've created, with all the work I've been doing over in here, it just created a dapple effect anyway. So I'm just really filling in the spots. Just a little bit of greenness. Probably could go touch more yellow. Whoa, that's too much. Try, green into here, a few spots. Not too much, because anything like that, like this, like that spot, you're going to draw your attention to it because there's nowhere else in the painting for that color. So really, the amount of warmth I see over here is going to be very little. Now I'm going to have to hit some purple in that to put it away, to cover it up a little bit, because it's just going to jump out at me. And if nothing else, I'm always going to be looking there. So maybe it just needed a little purple in it anyway to gray it out. Okay. So you start to see how this starts to come together. Just a couple pushes with the brush into the sky. That's why I wanted to have the sky in there, because I wanted to be able to do just a few pushes to get the trees and the sky to work together a little bit. And that's all you have to do. Just going to make sure these guys here just have some separation. Okay. All right. Pretty much that's all I need really to do back in here. Yeah, I could work on the house and little things, but all the information I put back in here, I have to translate the same information down here, which is going to just cause a lot of work. Not that I'm against the work, but it just says, that's just the way it goes. As much work information I give here, I got to give that same amount of information down in here. And sometimes you're going to have to cause extra work. This is the whole big area right here. And it's going to be a ton of information to put in there. So I can get away with a lot less. All right, I'm going to go with my gray blues here. Just go back here. Now, midtones one more time. A few spots here I didn't get. This is blue and oxide red and white at a 7. I'm going to put it now underneath this area here, right on the edge of where this pond is. And it's going to be the shadow pretty much for everything underneath it. Same back in here. I'm gonna put this color right here on above this streak here for some of these plants. A lot of times just pushing them in like that is gonna end up being good enough to do. I just want to make sure when I put those guys in that I'm not putting them in with the same pressure of brush pressure, that I am getting breaking these things up so they feel natural. They don't feel like I use the same brush everywhere, same brush pressure everywhere, or else it feel like it won't work. Okay. And let's see, time wise, how much we got? Not much. That's what I figured. Okay, I'm gonna just slap in a few of the highlights because we won't be able to get them all in. So I'm gonna work pretty quickly here. But we are pretty much down to our lights, all of our lights, and it's a lot of adjustments. So let me start with my lightest lights. I'm gonna find a lot of them are gonna be right in here, but I'm gonna start off with a pink white right in here. I kind of see it right there, coming in right into here. It's gonna jump. It's always these first colors are always gonna jump a little bit. So I'm gonna put a pink white there. I'm gonna switch over to a slightly warmer version of it, the cad red and white for this area here. As you can see, it just goes in on top here, just a little goofy. Might be a little bright, but I got to bring everything up a little bit too. I'm going to use the colors I have there and just try to get my midtones to work quickly. Even though that was some of my brightest spots, I definitely gonna work that color up here. I'm gonna use my big ass brush now. Sorry, my big bristle brush. And get a few ice things here done. Right here on the edges. Just pulling them in. Over here. And start off. This is cat orange and white. I'm using right in here. You see, just has a touch of warmth to it. I'm just going to twist it off, switch it. I'm putting some blues and purples, but I'm just going to hit my big area colors. I also going to put it in right in here. And I run it right into the water. I'm just going to smoosh my brush tip a little bit when I get close to the water. These guys over here, a little bit too big of a brush. Okay. Some warmth right there, a little bit warmth. Did not use my yellow too much. What did I say? Should have went right there. Then I'm going to come back in at the end and See, that's too bright. Just gonna add just a touch more color to all these colors, these whites. Now, when I get back into here, because of the contrast of the blue, they're just starting to read as white. So I got to put a little bit more coloring back into these guys, just a scad. Now I'm just going to hit these really big areas. I think there are much more paint. I put a purple in first, and now I'm going back in with that white yellow I put in. It's my highest color, and I'm putting it right in these purples. I'm just letting not everywhere, but I'm just like that. You can just see little teeny areas where I'm putting in light, and all of a sudden that gives it a kick of lightness. Now let's see. Last little area putting in, running late here, but I'm sorry about that. Putting in these guys. Definitely a little bit more. This is a little, this is ochre white back in here. Really close. I'm going to go for the big spots of the thing, and then come back in and do the little spots around it. So make sure you get a good, strong, aggressive stroke for the big areas of the paint, and then you can go with a little bit less for this other areas. Okay, let's finish up here, and there's definitely a few more spots of paint to do. I definitely want to get back into this area here a little bit more. That's about it. Sorry, we went a little late. First one out of the thing, I will be finishing this up too, but it's just always going to take a little bit more time. But I'll show you how I'm going to put in the tree. I'll put it in with my knife first. I'm going to go with some of my darkest darks, probably a phthalo green. I'm going to go with a phthalo green for the top part above the water. So right in here, going through here, going to move some things around. I want it to still come over here. I want it to come right about in here. Give it just a touch of an arc. I'm going to go with the green first. Get it in, and touch it in. All right. And then in the bottom, I'm gonna go with just more on the blue purple side. And take that back over, make sure it breaks it. And put it in. Definitely, I might even go with alizarin in blue right here at the end of the color, because that is one of my darkest. That I need some contrast to make this and come forward. Usually you don't need too much. Just being a little bit of, there'll be a little bit of this going in at the end. Knife work, and we'll be done for today. But you guys get to finish it. All the colors I gave you pretty much are in here, are going to be in here. They shouldn't, nothing you shouldn't have to, when I finish mine, I will not be adding any new colors. It's gonna, nothing, anything. Somebody putting in the knife. I'm sorry, these guys should be going in here. I shouldn't be doing, yeah. Okay, and that's it. I'll bring you in for a close-up. You can sort of see what's going on. I'm going to rub this in a little bit. That's the basic guts, and now I'm just going to go back in and just pull out the highlights in the snow. I started to get, this one looks good. That's a good stroke. That's what I consider a good stroke. Even though it's not exactly what's there, it's meant, it's the feeling of the paint is meant to happen. So there you can see, start to see the top of it, top area of the painting. And then the bottom edge here, sorry, I have to switch down here a little bit. It's going to be blurry, sorry. All that area here. Not too much more going to go in there. I am going to bring in the weeds, but I'll be bringing those in with a knife and pretty much using my warmer colors to finally get in there. So let's see what you guys have been doing. I got so turn on your lights and your monitors or video. Lights, video. Microphones would help. And we'll talk.
Can I make a request? I'm not sure you can do this. Would you be able to post the photo, reference photo, like on Monday before? I don't have a printer, so if I could get out and have it printed before class, would be a big help. Monday?
That's early for me. I don't wake up till Wednesday.
Well, even Wednesday would be a help. I need to get to a printer to put,
Oh, okay. I use my computer monitor for everything.
Well, I need the monitor to see the Zoom class. That's the problem.
Oh, I got like 6 monitors laying around here.
Yeah, some of us only have one. So anyway, if it's a problem, it's fine. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
No, I can, I'll try to. A lot of times I kind of wing it, kind of trying to see what everybody wants, and then I have to go find it. Like for next week, I'll ask and see where I can fit it in.
Okay.
But I will try to do that. And who's am I talking to?
Margaret.
Oh, Mark. Okay, no problem. Okay, yeah, I can try that.
Okay, thanks.
No worries. Anne Marie, did you paint?
I did.
Yay!
Just as I don't know, Margaret, if you have a, what do you call it? A, iPad,
Yes.
but I use the iPad as a printout. So like I have my laptop watching all of
Right.
us.
Yeah, all I have is an iPad. I don't have a computer.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. Right. All right. Never mind. Okay. So I did, I did a block in kind of.
Oh, look at that.
Really nice.
Isn't it nice? That back fabulous, girl. That is
Well,
gorgeous. Really?
I'm always behind you, but I'm trying here to keep up, and I like the colors a lot.
Yeah, I love the muted colors. The warmer muted colors in the back are gorgeous against that thing. And that really that 3/4 or 2/3 line going down, you really nailed it. I like it where it's going right now. I would say, don't get any brighter in your whites in the gray area, the per blue area. Keep them right there. The top area is really close to being done. I love the way it looks. The sky's fabulous. The white. That's the thing is when you put it in like this so quickly and then like you mean it. It really looks right. That looks great. Yeah, just a little bit more work down below now, and
Yeah.
I think you got it.
I want to the whites. Like I was just dabbing them on to see like the pinky white and the
Right.
yellow, creamy white and the orangey white, just to see how bright they were. So I and then you modified yours. So I think when I get to the point where I'm actually GL,
She likes it.
where I'm
Tastes like
actually
candy.
GL, move it, where I'm actually putting in the the highlights for real.
Right.
I think I'll tone them down a little bit.
Yeah. But they look good. I mean, they're not jumping out at me. So that is really what you want. That's some great little marks so far.
So forward ho.
Good forward ho. Okay, Kimberly.
Okay.
Back.
I went big today for me.
What size?
What is this? 11 by 14?
Ooh, that's not 11 by 14, is
It
it?
is.
Bigger.
It is. Hang on.
It
Let me
looks huge.
get all the way back here now.
12 by
There.
16.
Kim is really small. That's why that painting looks so big.
Oh my
Okay.
God. I'm usually on 8 by 10. Are you kidding? This
Really?
iPad of mine is very
Oh,
strange.
you got the motion detector on it, or the thing, and so it's trying to find a good thing. So it's doing it all by itself. There's a little icon up in the top of Zoom that you can turn it off.
All right. I'm going to stand really still right here. Maybe you can just.
There you
look.
go. Colors are fabulous. Really great water so far. Even the blue greens at the very bottom are working out really well. The whites are, starting to come in the background.
Yeah.
Watch how much color you got there. Oh, look at that nice roof ceiling. You got lots of wiring. The sky's good.
Yeah.
I would just say watch how much green is back there in the far back, because it's always going to come forward. So like maybe even the grayed out versions of those colors is going to be probably really close to what you need on top of this.
Yep.
But look, even back there, look for more on the blue grays, oxide red and blues back there. Will help
Over top the trees. Over top the trees. Yeah.
And into the lights.
Yeah, I haven't done any of that yet.
But richness wise, you did really good on the water. Yeah, make everything else just the same. Keep going.
I'm going to keep going.
It's a beauty so far. Congrats.
Thank you.
Lindsay, did you paint?
I did, but I didn't get very far.
Now, Lindsay, you're not going to any France or anything, are you?
I actually signed up for the Italy trip for Tuscany.
Italy, that's where
Yeah.
we're going to see you, in Italy.
Yay!
Oh, wow, that's a solid painting.
I have a lot left to do, but
I know, but you got the, you got the basic guts of the painting in a couple hours,
yeah.
hour and a half. It's holding its place really well. You got the darks at the bottom that are in the light in the back. It's just shooting you back there, really nice. I just say don't lose the design.
Mhm.
Now you're just adding to it. You're trying to make the design better. White when you start putting in the lights into the blues back down below, and just take it easy, but you know don't let the white be too strong. That's what I'm trying to say. Let the light back there, that triangle of light way back there, be your big baby back there, really pull you back.
I think I'm using a little bit too much oil when I'm starting out because it's kind of just wet and making it hard to put paint on top of paint.
It depends if what are you painting on? You're painting on a linen, or are you painting on?
This one is actually just regular canvas, but I normally do paint on linen.
Yeah. That's probably a lot of it, because canvas always just gets a little slicker
Ah,
than the linen. So that's probably what I would say. That's probably a thing. So but that's okay. It doesn't look like that at this point. And right now, colors are really holding together really nice. Start bringing in your highlights into the snow.
Mhm.
Just basically roll your brush. Try to get them in as simply as possible. Do not over define your highlights.
Okay.
Try to put them in, and then just go back and pull out only a few, not many, and then only the ones that are going to help you drag you back the eye back. I think that'll be it. Otherwise, man, it looks great. It's
I lost a little of the darks too, but I can fix that.
I like it a lot. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Congrats. Margaret, did you paint?
I did. I had a hard time keeping up with you.
Yeah, of course, Margaret. We heard you about your story there. I mean, you only have one monitor in the whole house.
That's right.
Let's see how she did. All right. This is the first one out of the can with us too, right? You've never painted with me before, right?
I have not.
So am I kind of foreign to what we have been painting?
What was hard to follow is your reference to more red here, more blue, more green. So, and I got kind of lost. Anyway, I'll probably watch the video again and
Okay. Could you show me the painting again? I'll
sure.
give you a quick
Sure.
read to it. I just want to make sure you understood some things, and okay. Yep. Design wise is going, it's right there. Good. Darkness, you probably could end up being a little, and a lot of these things, just the amount of light that's hitting the canvas right now, take my what I'm saying a little bit of the grain of salt. Design wise is really good. Now it's just making sure your darks are in the very bottom, or as dark as you can get.
Okay. Thank you.
I can see just a little more red in there, just a touch more red in that blue, because that will help flatten it out.
Okay.
Flatten the water out a little bit.
Sure.
So it's just falling down a little bit. But otherwise, your colors look good. Your colors look really good for following quickly. Now it's just like nibbling away on the edges and getting the blue, finishing up the blues and the toning of, getting the colors in the far of the back there.
Right.
Yeah. I like the purples back there. You got there. They feel about in the right space. Now you just go put in the grays and finish the trees off back there, and you should be good.
Thank you.
No worries. Are you guys, you and Lindsay, are you guys set up on the students' Facebook page yet?
No.
Okay. I'll send you guys a link to it, and you guys can sign up, just hit it. And that way this is a good place to post these paintings when you finish them or get them close to it or need help. And that's where I usually give all the information or critiques, more critiques as we go. And you can put up any of your paintings up. You don't have to just put up class paintings. I'll help you out. Okay. Cindy. Here we come. Cindy, what'd you do?
It's kind of a mess, but I'm working on it.
Yeah. Yeah, you worked on it. Look at that. Now you really got the darks down there nice, really good, strong and dark. You started bringing in the ice, the snow's feeling it has a good place to it. And the background good. Yeah, you kept it you keep everything so clean though.
I think it's just getting mud everywhere. I keep smearing.
Yeah, all you need to do is soften a couple lines. You got all the lines in the back are beautifully done. So every certain spot, find a place to break those lines, because where the trees and things meet, just a scratch. That's all you need is just a simple little mark to break them up, because they get to be the same everywhere, and that will just break them up a little bit, and that will bring the eye forward a little bit more towards the water. The water's looking good, great shape, really good shape for that water. I would say, yep, start bringing in a little bit more blue sky into the middle areas of that thing. Start working that back into of it, and that's just going to start to glow. I think the shadows could be a little bit stronger in the bottom area too. You're just missing that little triangle.
Down here, you mean?
Well, it's that triangle of white in about the 2/3 mark up there. You got it on the pond on down. It goes. You're gonna have to bring that mid-tone blue stronger.
Are you talking here? Or is that
Up
here?
up. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
There on down.
Okay.
To the bottom. Those blue purples can be look for and be probably more closer to 7s.
Okay.
Bringing those back. You got your highlights in. Now you got to bring back your darks. Making sure you get that really strong line going across there. That's really dynamic when you have that triangle line of white back there. You have a little triangle where the pond is back there. Keeping that real clean, but getting the blues, mid-tone blues, heavier going down from there.
Okay.
That's really nice. And now those little nicks, just nicks. Good job. Really fabulous stuff in there going on. It reads well as it is, but those would be my little changes I would tell you to think about.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Good job. We got Sarah. Linda, if you want to show what you did, you can turn on your video. Who else we got? Margaret didn't Margaret showed. Lindsay showed. Let's see. Mindy's down there. She better have painted. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at this girl. Have you painted at all since like November or December? Yeah, I know. See, if I didn't keep on you, you wouldn't paint, right? Okay. Definitely keep painting. This is gorgeous. Your colors are starting to work out so well. You just even at the bottom, the way you scumbled on there. The values are good. The strength's going up to 3/4, up to that 2/3 mark. You caught the light of the pond and stuff. So it's not too bright. See, that's the thing about painting white. It always feels like you go too bright, and you gotta really pull it down. You can always brighten it up by adding white after it's wet, but you don't want to have to make it darker. So it's because it's so much easier. Good job on that. Really, you are kind of slow though. I figured you probably have the houses done by now back there. You got white. Unless it's gonna be White House. You say, oh, they're White Houses. We didn't have to paint those. So different. Are difficult, aren't you? Okay. No, your design. I like the way it's going. You're really holding your design together. So I'm happy with that. You grayed out back there nicely. You're not over putting in too much color. Sky looks good. Yeah, your colors are fabulous, girl. Nice. I think just keep going. It's a nice block in. Now it gives me everything I need to see. Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Fab. Now, don't take so much time off painting. Okay, let's see if Mindy here. Mindy,
Hi, Jim.
how you doing, girl?
Good, thanks.
Oh, Mindy, gosh, Mindy, that is fabulous.
Oh, thanks.
Wow.
Well,
That is, just putting in those strong shapes the way you put them in. I mean, this is what I was talking about, putting them in the strong angles for to come back to. This is the
Wow.
edges, and then just figuring out the softness ones. Really strong, girl.
That's cool.
oh, thanks.
That's really, your colors are right there. For someone who never paints with me hardly, always is lately.
Right.
And this is fast too for you.
I was able to keep up a little bit for once.
Yeah, you nailed it. Gosh, girl, I would just say, finish it off. Those areas off.
All right.
Your colors layering looks really strong for this, even at this point. I really can feel the snow on the water in those little areas, even though you don't have any color on them yet. But
Right.
just those blue ones you got in the back there, they look just right.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Super start.
Thanks.
Glad you liked this one.
Yep.
You want to paint more of these or what?
Yeah,
I'll paint anything.
Okay, I just want to check with you,
Oh. Snow is great.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys wait, you guys open your mouth. Wait till next week.
Do we have to
Here's-
put a rock or something in it? I'm for Pete's sake.
Yeah. Linda. So is this oil, Linda, or is this a gouache?
Wash.
Yeah, that's okay. I figured. Good job on laying it out. Okay, you need let's see. Your purples, your blues could go a little deeper at the bottom of the thing because they're just kind of drifting. It's pretty cool. It's really close. Good job on the snow and the colors in the back. Probably a little bit stronger on the 3/4 on the way down. Mid-tones of the blues. That'll be fun. You're gonna find out for you, a lot of it is going to end up being almost that watercolor into those shadows and stuff. Is going to be really close to that. When you get the shadows in the snow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, you started putting them in at the bottom and stuff. I see that. Okay. Okay. Did you take out the house? You're not going to put the house back there?
No house.
What?
No house for me.
No house for you? Okay. No problem. Good job. You got, the reflection probably could be a little stronger yet. And I think just a lot of it, just getting that the shadows in the snow a little bit stronger, and deeper, and you'll be right there. Great job on it though.
Hey, Jim, what exactly is gouache? What is that?
Gouache.
Yeah.
It's just an opaque watercolor. It's basically watercolor with chalk in it. Basically, it kind of handles a lot like oil paint. You can paint it dark to light instead of light to dark,
Okay.
like watercolor. It's more just opaque, and it's. But the thing is, when it dries just a little lighter than the color put on. So it's always a little tough to play with.
Hmm.
But that's just knowing the medium and stuff. I was thinking about taking that to France, trying to do gouache instead of oils, but I don't know. I still got to do oils. Okay, how long can we keep her holding this up in front of the cameras? Let's see. Count. Good job, Linda.
Thank you.
Good work. Keep working on it, though. Don't be done. All right. Did I miss anybody?
No, this is fun. Thank you very much.
Can I ask a question?
What?
I know I'm a problem. Who is anybody on the call going to France
Me?
besides me?
Kimberly?
Me?
Would love to, but not in the cards.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Just
it's
a few.
okay.
No,
But then
Kim
we-
and Jim.
Jim?
Oh,
Jim and
Kim's going. Kim is going. Oh, good.
Kim is going.
Good.
Kim is also going to Tuscany with us too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I'm checking out of regular life for 2 weeks. I'm just gonna go
Sounds like
paint.
a good plan.
Yeah.
It is. It's, you know. Well, yeah, what else did you want to know there, Anne?
Well, I had a question about the surface, the painting surface. A friend of mine gave me some, well, it has a profile, like maybe, I don't know, half-inch maybe, of linen, Belgian linen, canvases for Christmas.
Oh,
And but I'm so used to painting on panels, and this, when you put a brush on it or you poke it, it gives, it's a different vibe entirely. So I was just wondering if there were any tips on that, or I just have to experiment with it.
Make sure, usually it's pretty taut. The canvas is pretty taut. And if it gets loose, it feels like if there's any puckering in the corners.
Uh-huh.
Usually when you get a linen canvas from a manufacturer, they're going to be good. They're not like the cheaper canvases, regular canvases you get like at Hobby Lobby or anything. This a good canvas is, you're probably going to make like $40 for one of those things.
Okay.
But if it does have if you want it tighter, you just spray a little bit of water on the back of your canvas.
On the back.
On the back, not the front, the back. And it will tighten up.
Oh, cool.
It will just shrink up and tighten up, and it will stay that way. So you can have a tighter canvas.
I knew you would have a tip. Okay.
Yeah, if it's too bouncy, you can tighten it up that way. And then usually there's keys that come with it. You can kick the keys out, put the keys in and kick them out a little bit, and that'll also tighten it up.
Okay.
If you have any big problems.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, went over a little bit far today, but that's just the way these things go. These paintings, always, you can't tell exactly till you get into them how easy or hard they're going to be. I'm always underestimating how easy something like, not easy. It's not supposed to be easy, but how much information it needs to be given out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be finishing this one up probably today, putting in a little more highlights into it. And probably I'll be looking at a few little areas back in here, just adjustments. Adjustments are always what you have to do. So I'll try to do those, and I'll paste it up, put it up on the site, the Facebook site. What is it? James Swanson Student Painters or something like that. Something like that. I'll send you the new girls the link to it. It will come from Facebook. So, if you know where it's coming from, you just okay it, and you can be on the site and print show your stuff.
Next week, Jim.
All right.
What?
Yeah.
What is it going to be next week?
God, you're gonna have to wait till Wednesday, or is it Monday? You can just see what the hell I'm talking. I give no. Oh, next week, yeah. If you want to paint snow, does anybody want to paint snow?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna pay. Okay, we're gonna paint a little tougher one. The paintings are gonna get a little tougher. This is considered an easy painting.
Yeah, I think snow is another good one because snow is harder than water.
Yes. Oh God.
Much harder. So yeah.
Okay, but the next one's going to have a little bit of an item in it. Okay. Not going to be just snow. They're going to have something built into it. And we talked about animals too. We're going to be working on animals. We're definitely going to have more landscapes like this and some things, but they might have an animal in them or something like that. We're not going to paint water dogs. We might paint one, but I usually don't paint too many of them.
What about a snow dog?
Oh, we did paint a snow dog. We could definitely can
We
find
did
another
snow
snow
dog
dog.
last time. That was pretty good. White on white.
Right, that was a lot of, that
We
was a
could
good
do
one.
you with your two dogs waving to us in the snow.
I may try to, if we do that, I may try to sub my Lulu.
Well, we got snow out there. Throw your dog out there in the snow. Take some pictures for us. Just make sure you got a good shadow. That's all I want.
I like the geese in the snow that you sent in your first email.
See, that's good too. That's
All right.
I like
good
that.
eye. Good
And
idea.
I actually thought that was what we were doing today, so I do have a photo.
Is that what oh, you're right. That is no wonder. Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah, it
Right,
seems
we're gonna
like
do geese in the snow. That would be great.
right. Next week. Geese in the snow. I forgot about that one. I did put that one out. See, a lot of times I put these out weeks and weeks in advance and kind of forget about what that reference photo is. And then I find something I want to paint better. I go, oh, this would be a good one to start with. That's what I ended up doing. Right. That is a good one. That is a really good one. So definitely that's a lot of white on white. And that should be fun. That would be fun. Good call.
Thank you. Great.
All right.
Now you don't have to worry about Monday or Wednesday.
Yeah. Now you finish this and you have less work to do.
Right.
And then, yeah, you don't have to wait till Wednesday.
That's right.
All right, girls.
right.
We'll see you all next week.
See you next week.
Well,
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a great week.
Guys post because then we can see what, we learn from each other. So
Okay.
it helps.
It does help. It does help. I don't have to do as much teaching either. And I love that. See y'all later.
You put yours on, then we all start crying. That's what.
Yeah, sure. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.